Good morning. I'm Catherine. Welcome to my making adventure. This is going to be an installment of Fix It Friday. However, it is Saturday. Don't tell anyone. I'm going to try to fix the collar of this by threading through some elastic. It's not like real elastic. It's stretchy cord from making bracelets for little kids for my daughter. And she had made a bracelet at a church thing and it broke, and so I bought that to help her fix it like a year ago. So I'm gonna try to use that just because the other elastic I have is like, you know, half an inch wide or whatever, and so I'm just gonna try weaving that stretchy cord through the neck here. I totally forgot about Fix It Friday yesterday. So hopefully I can resolve that today with just elastic. Here we go. So I tied off my ends and I've been wearing it a while to make sure it's not too tight. My husband tried it on. He didn't think it was too tight. And I tuck the ends in. There's still like a big knot, but it won't be visible from the outside. And this way it'll be easier to fix if it needs re-tightened or loosened or anything over a while. So yeah, I think we're calling this a wrap for today's Fix It Friday on Saturday. Stay tuned to see what I get up to next Friday, hopefully. I'll remember. Today is Friday, January 16th, and I'm back for another part of the Fix It Friday. And today I will be working on my daughter's Carla dress. I knit this, I think, 2 years ago for her. And she's ready for me to make it longer. Also, and the reason it is quite urgent is that earlier this week she snagged it. See, I put a stitch marker in the spot. Where is it? She snagged it and there is a hole, but it's right at the bottom bind off, maybe like 2 rows in or something. So I think I can just rip back that far, try to get the needles on. I think there's like 400 or more stitches, and it is a cotton yarn that has 4 strands held together, unplied. So I should have weighed how much extra yarn I have. Right now my main focus though is getting it on the needle, not even figuring out how much yarn I have to use. I can't find that spot that she snagged it at. So yeah. Dada should be home soon. The girls are doing Play-Doh. And the baby's going to see if Daddy's home. Oh, here it is. Here. She snagged it. And the yarn broke, you kid. There. Right there. That yarn is broke. Sorry. I don't have a third hand to focus the camera. Oh, there.
Mine, is it yours?
So yeah, that's only a few rows in. I'll probably just rip it back that far. Might take me that many rows to get all the stitches on the needles anyway. I was looking for my tail to try to unpick where I wove it in, because it's just like a knit bind off. But I think I'm just gonna cut it, especially if I'm going to start way back there. It doesn't matter if I save every inch of the yarn. So, let's see if I can get this on the needles. Okay, it's probably been at least an hour. I got it. And this is an hour of work. I barely did anything else. On the needles. I ripped out 6 or 7 grams of yarn. And I ripped out past the hole. I've marked the first row below the needles so that I can track my progress. And I have 55 or so grams of this yarn still in the original cake. It was a 200 gram cake. So this is the yarn. It is 100% cotton. And this is what it looks like. When I have this extended an appropriate length for my daughter, I'm done with this yarn. I have a t-shirt out of it, and I have this out of it. I had purchased 600 grams. So, I'm not enjoying knitting with it. If for some reason this 55 grams is not enough to make it a good length, I do have like a swatch that's 15 more grams. And then lots of other little balls. However, since it's 100% cotton, it's hard to get like a good secure join. Maybe what I'll do is the one where you like loop it and then you knit with it for a little bit. That might feel pretty secure to me. And I don't care necessarily at this point about how that will look a little bit. That will be a little more visible. I kind of was thinking of tying the ends, but I'm still worried that a knot wouldn't be secure. So I think I'll do that join. I don't know if it has a name. Do you know? Here is the yarn from before. Hold on. And so you got 1 point. I will just
You got 2 points then.
do this and get started. Obviously, I'm not going to knit up 55 grams of fingering weight yarn today, but the goal for today was to get started, and then I can set it aside the rest of the week if I want and pull it back out next Friday, or I can work on it if I feel like it. We'll see. We'll see. I'll give you an update later, though, with any progress I make today. Okay, it is the end of the evening, so I'm going to wrap up this week's edition of Finish It Friday. I have added 3 rounds. And my stitch gauge is not consistent. Now, once it gets washed, it might be more similar than it is right now. But I think what I want to actually do is add some lace in, some eyelets, nothing fancy. However, and that will sort of distort the issues with my attention. However, I have to figure out how many stitches are on the needles first, and I have gotten a different number each time I've counted. I know the trick to like add a stitch marker every 50 stitches, but I don't have stitch markers up here, so I haven't been doing that. But I will have to figure that out before I pick this up again. I don't know how soon that will be. I will want these needles and this cord fairly soon, so that might be a good motivator. I actually need the needles to finish the mica's raglan, but I can take the needles off without taking the cord out. So I don't think you can tell where I showed you the style of join I was going to do, and that doubles up the yarn for a small period of time, and that's over here. But I don't think it's super noticeable. So I'm feeling okay about that. I'll show you one more section. You know, not right where my needles are right now. So that's where we got this week. Next Friday, I'll show you. I need to put needle stoppers on this because it keeps slipping out of the needles. There's so many stitches on here. I should be working on this again next Friday. So I will show you then where I'm at. Hi, it's another Friday. Friday, I think January 24th. And I will be continuing to work on the same project as last Friday, which is lengthening my daughter's dress. I have created a little like chart for myself of some like yarn overs that will just like each repeat will form hopefully a little triangle. And I've done one row with yarn overs, but I haven't even done like a plain row after that, so you can't even really see. I mean, maybe there you can see. I've knit that much. So, but this is the beginning around, so literally like that much has been done. And that was just the tail pulling forward there. There's no end there. So that's the very beginning of what I've been working on there. I will try to give you an update at the end of the day today, and hopefully I will be able to put in some time on it, but I'm not really sure. We have a really busy weekend, and so it's already after lunch, and I haven't knit a single stitch. So we will see. All right, Friday night update on my Fix It Friday project, which is my daughter's dress. And I have added a few more rounds. I only did one knit round in between the rounds of lace. And I maybe should have done more. I wonder if I can hold it better. Is that better? I was thinking about doing like 2 or 3, but then I just did 1 and I just kept going with only 1. Kind of regretting that right now, but I'm not gonna go back and fix it. We're just lengthening the dress at this point, and so it's gonna be okay. I do think I will do ribbing at the bottom when I finish the lace panel. And I think I went down a needle size here or 2, so I'm actually going to get on the project page before I do ribbing and see if I put my needle sizes in. Fortunately, that will mean I'll have to know if I'm actually using the right needles right now. I'm using a US 4, which I know I used with this yarn in one of the 2 projects, but I'm not sure I used it in both. So the gauge looks significantly more loose, but I don't know if that's just like because it's been washed and dried a lot down here versus up here. Or if I'm using the wrong needle size, or if my gauge has changed. Anyway, I don't think, because the ribbing on the sleeves doesn't really pull in, I think I can do ribbing at the bottom. And this is a twisted rib. So I think I can do a twisted rib at the bottom without worrying about it pulling in. Like, you don't want the hem of your skirt to pull in, but I don't think I have to worry about that. I think it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the collar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the sleeve. I think I'll do 8 on the bottom. 8 rounds of ribbing. So probably do a knit row, 1 more lace row, then maybe like 4 stockinette rows before the 8 rows of ribbing. So I still have a lot of work on this. I didn't realize that. I'm finding the yarn and the needles to be hard to manage. Like the yarn is just not working well with the metal needles or something. I don't remember it being this difficult before, like when I knit with it previously. But I was a really new knitter when I knit with this yarn the first time. And I honestly don't remember how soon after I finished my tea that I made this dress. But yeah, this slippery cotton yarn that is hard to keep in place is not ideal for my metal Chabu needles. But I do need the sharp tips for working with this yarn. Let's see, how am I doing on yarn quantity? Still got plenty. I'm gonna have enough to do all that I just told you that I was gonna do. 2 more rounds of lace work, 4 rounds of stockinette, and 8 rounds of ribbing. And I did a sewn bind off on the sleeves and the neckline. 400 stitches around the bottom. Slightly less than 400 stitches around the bottom. Do I want to do a sewn bind off? Not really. I might just do a knit over knit bind off. After twisted rib, will that look horrible? Do I care? Good questions to be asking myself. I don't have the answer. Okay. That's my current update. I think there's one more Friday in January, and I have a feeling I'm going to want to pick up a different project than this. I might actually keep this in my rotation over the weekend, unless I decide to cast on something new, which I could do. So we'll see. We shall see what I decide. Just a really quick update on this Fix It Friday project is that I've started the bind off. You can see right there, I've bound off a few stitches. I did the design, some stockinette, and 8 rounds of twisted rib. I switched my needles to US 2.5, which I think is a 3mm. I think I can check here. Maybe not. Oh, yep, there it is. Yep. Which I think is different than what I did initially, but I had initially been using US 3 needles, and when I picked back up stitches, I used a US 4. So everything is off, so I adjusted. And instead of going down to 2s for the ribbing, I really don't want the ribbing to like cinch in a lot since it's at the bottom of a dress. I decided that 2.5s would be a good compromise. So there it is. I'm binding off. I've added, I think, 3.5 inches. And I'm really pleased with that. And it'll probably take me like all day to bind off. Good afternoon. It is Friday, January 30th, so it is time for another Fix It Friday project. This is the last one of January, and I need a quick one. I'm still trying to finish my last of my 12 cast-ons, and as you can tell, January is almost over, so I'm running out of time for that. So all I'm going to do is sew up this teeny tiny little hole in my daughter's leggings because she doesn't want me to throw them away, even though you can see that it used to be a heart pattern and it's worn off, but she wants the hole in this knee fixed and I can do that. So this shouldn't take me too long. I'm just going to sew it up. It's not necessarily going to be pretty, but it won't be a hole anymore. So here we go. That took less than 10 minutes and I'm done. Ta-da! Like I said, it's not gonna look necessarily pretty, but the hole is gone. And I mean, really, the goal is just for her to wear them again. She already has 2 other pairs of black leggings, but she asked me to fix these, so that's what I can do. If you know of any like better methods or tutorials for fixing holes in stretchy fabric, I'd be happy to hear it. I also would be looking for tutorials for how to fix holes in hand knit socks. Would you drop those below for me? I did finish my daughter's dress that I worked on the previous 2 Fridays. But I think I'm gonna save that for my next podcast because I don't have it with me right here. It's in the laundry to get washed so she can wear it. I don't think I filmed. Maybe I did. I don't know. I did take some pictures. I can put those up here. Or maybe I already put them in. I don't know. So, thanks for joining me for my Fix It Friday series. I will be continuing because guess what? My pile of things that need fixed has grown during the month of January. I think there's more things on the pile now than when I started. So, yeah, I had been hoping to fix the neckband of my ranunculus sweater as well because it's too tight. So that's a scary project to be thinking about fixing because it's knit from the collar down. So it's like the cast on that's too tight. But I've seen people filming cutting off the collar and re-knitting it the other way. So, and I have yarn, so I can do that. So that might be coming in February. But thanks for joining me. God bless.